Okay, here we go. Exciting. Welcome to the Really Useful Show. I am your host, Ken Krell, and I am here in Australia with someone here in Australia, finally someone local for a change. So this is Adam Phillips, and Adam helps people invest in real estate. Now, as many of you may know, I've been training real estate investors for over a third of a century. Adam does it here in Australia, and I am about to become one of his students because I want to learn how this market can work for me too. So let's talk a little bit about that. Welcome to the show, Adam. How you doing?
Yeah, very good. Thanks. Yourself? How you, Ken?
I'm thrilled to be here with you today, although it is wintertime and I'm hoping to warm up pretty soon. So Adam, also known as Bat Dad, that's another conversation altogether. Tell me about how you do that, what your secret sauce is and the steps and the moves that you teach people to do for investing in the real estate market here in Australia.
Yeah, sure. I guess you can summarize that in three really simple steps. I call that desire, acquire, and retire. So, you want to desire the life of your dreams and then go out there and acquire the investments that you need so that you can able to, retire whenever you please.
I love it. That's awesome. And now with that said, now, by the way, do you deal primarily in commercial property? Do you deal residential, rentals? What's the niche?
Yeah. So, residential and rentals.
Okay. So, and primarily are you teaching people to buy and hold or to flip or to rehab? Is there a mix there?
There's so many different strategies out there, and they really depend on your ultimate goal and, and your personal circumstances as well. So, whether that's, buy and hold, whether that's, renovate, whether that's, then to sell that to then use those funds to buy another one, if you wanted to develop or build homes, there's just so many different strategies. And I just really try and help people, expose them to all these different strategies. And that way you can pick and choose, what's right for you, what's right for your personal circumstances, and what's right for your risk level as well.
You're saying all the right things. And by the way, and this is because I've been doing this for so long, he's saying all the right things, you guys. If you're doing real estate or want to do real estate in Australia, which I think is a really good idea, we want to have a conversation. And Adam and I will be personally having a conversation because I want to learn this market. So now that I'm a potential client, tell me, give me a success story about somebody that you've worked with that has gone from dream to reality.
Yeah, definitely. So one of my students, they own their own home and they wanted to invest in real estate, but they just had no idea where to start, didn't really understand the strategies. So I wasn't able to show them how they could use some of the equity in their own home. So they then use that as a deposit to buy property number one, to buy property number two. They're now looking at property number three. And what that means is they didn't even have to use any of their own savings because all the money into that new home, into the investment home, was all the bank's money. And they generate, $40,000 additional income now.
That's awesome. Yeah. If you want to do real estate, this is the kind of strategy you want to learn to play with leverage, use other people's money, the bank's money, which by the way, is beyond cheap. It's like they're paying you to take money right now.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I walk down the streets here and it's like, nothing, it's like 1%. It's stupid. So if you're not doing that, you're crazy. So Adam, is there something really useful that you can share with our audience that we can get them started on that journey?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to teach you one principle, and this principle you can apply to basically anything you do in life, but we'll look at how we can apply this to real estate investing. And that's, starting with the end in mind. The great Stephen Covey spoke about this in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. So we'll use real estate as an example. I want to retire on $100,000 income. Okay, great. So that's the end result. I also want to own my own home that I can live in, that's paid off. Fantastic. So now that we've got that end in mind, we have to formulate a plan, go and work back and figure out the steps. How am I going to achieve this? So really starting with that end in mind, that's going to help you, develop a really good plan and then supercharge you ahead so you can actually achieve that end result. And, it doesn't take that much. I've got a new lease in front of me right now. This generates $26,000 per year. So you can imagine if you had multiple of them, that $100,000 is quite achievable.
Oh, I'm going to jump in on that. And so I want you all to know, and I haven't talked to you about this privately, but one of my dear friends, I would buy and flip. I would buy, fix up and flip. And literally, I was doing the work myself. And we're going to go over the time on our show. So my dear producer friends, get over yourself for a minute because we got to do this. So I would buy and I flip, and I took the money out and I bought more and more, and put everything into a giant commercial property in Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
Back, and when the crash hit, I lost all of it. The people that bought and held. One of my dear friends in Philadelphia bought and held all of his property. He just donated his property last year. He was one of the biggest apartment owners in Philadelphia. Anyway, donated it to a nonprofit. The nonprofit sold it to gain the cash, $16 million US, not even Australian dollars, 16 US dollar, 16 million. He's been the largest political donor in Pennsylvania, giving literally $1 million cash to the Obama Library, to Hillary Clinton's campaign, and on and on. I mean, this guy, everyone sucks up to my boy Mel. Real estate is absolutely the path to wealth without any doubt in my mind. Do you have something that you can share with our audience that that they can actually take and use? I can put it in the show notes, and they can get started with something.
Yeah, sure. So I'll give you a link to my website. You go on there, there's plenty of gifts. You know, I've written different ebooks. You know, I've got a private Facebook group that you can join free of charge as well. So I'll put all those in the show notes for you. You know, I've got an online mentoring program as well.
Awesome.
So, you know, my ultimate aim for that is to really enable people to put their family in a position, you know, where money is no longer a concern.
Awesome. One last piece, and that is, I know you're here in Australia, but is there a geographic limitation to where you're teaching?
Not at all. I mean, like these are, you know, they're principles. So you can apply these to a lot of different markets across the world. You know, everything I teach is online. You know, we can't really go out and put on live events now anyway. In the future, I definitely want to do that. But for now, you know, everything's conducted online, and you can really apply these principles, you know, to, you know, most markets around the world.
Awesome. Stephen, I'm thrilled to have you. I wish we had more time. Adam, I wish we had more time together. I'm going to change your name too. What the hell? Would you come back to give me more of a chance to extract more information from you and call you something else in addition to Bat Dad?
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. I go by Super Dad as well. Okay. Yeah, look, I'd love to be back on the show. You know, thanks so much for having me.
A pleasure. Thanks for being with us today, my friend. That's awesome. Thanks.